Warning, the following video is intended for an audience over the age of 13 years old. This is to comply with the FTC and the Children's Online Privacy Act. The content is intended and geared towards an older audience. If you are under the age of 13, then please click off of the video, as this channel and video isn't intended for you. Now, enjoy the video.
Hey everyone, welcome to Lost Media Junkie, a channel where we look at media that has been lost to time. Today we are taking a different route and we're going to be talking about one of my favorite things in existence, music. Music is something that not only is a big part of my life as I listen to music every single day, but has also gotten me out of some of my darker moments in life. It has been an escape for me for years, and especially with the current state of the world, it really helps to have music to get me through it without going completely insane.
I'm former biggest star in the world, Mickey Rooney, and as you may know, I am totally and completely insane.
Anyways, in today's video, we're going to be talking about a lost album from one of my favorite bands in existence, and a band I have been listening to pretty much my entire life. That band is the California pop-punk sensation, quite literally the father of all motherfuckers, Green Day. To give a brief history, Green Day formed in 1987 by lead vocalist and guitarist Billy Joel Armstrong, as well as bassist and backing vocalist Mike Dirnt. They also added a third member to the band, their drummer, Trey Cool. These three managed to put out 13 studio albums over the course of over 30 years. Many of these albums saw extremely high amounts of success, going platinum, like American Idiot, 21st Century Breakdown, and Insomniac, and even achieved diamond status with their third studio album and the album that put them on the map, Dookie, which was released in 1994, which featured songs like Basket Case,
Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once,
and When I Come Around.
when I come around?
This band not only became extremely successful in their own right, but they became one of, if not the biggest punk bands to ever exist, and paved the way for many pop-punk artists to come. But even a massively successful band like this can have music that is lost and no longer available to the public, which is where the topic of this video comes in, and we are going to be talking about a lost Green Day album titled Cigarettes and Valentines. Cigarettes and Valentines was set to release in 2003 as a follow-up to their album Warning, which featured songs like Minority,
I wanna be the minority. I don't need your authority. Down with the moral majority, 'cause I wanna be the minority.
and Waiting.
I've been waiting a lifetime for this moment to come. I'm destined for anything at all.
The album was one of their more unsuccessful albums, but still peaked at number 4 on the Billboard's Top 200. The late 90s to early 2000s were sort of a slump for Green Day, so they needed an album to pull them out of said slump, and Cigarettes and Valentines was supposed to be that album. The album had a tone more like their earlier albums, such as Kerplunk and Insomniac, as the band felt they needed a return to their roots due to their albums Nimrod and Warning performing very poorly. 5 songs have been confirmed to be on the album. They are titled Cigarettes and Valentines, Too Much Too Soon, Waste Away, Sleepyhead, and Dropout. They were confirmed in interviews done over the years by the band members, such as Too Much Too Soon being confirmed by Billy Joel Armstrong in a 2010 radio interview. That interview has yet to appear online as of this recording though. Speaking of Too Much Too Soon, that song ended up being released as a B-side single on the American Idiot album.
Too much too soon. Too little and now you're coming unglued.
The title song, Cigarettes and Valentines, saw a release on the 2011 live album Awesome as Fuck. This album featured live performances from their 21st Century Breakdown tour, which was a tour the band did in 2009 and 2010 to support their newest album at the time, 21st Century Breakdown. This song also got released on February 11th, 2011 on the Green Day YouTube channel in the form of a lyric video, and a week later a recording of the band performing the song live was released on their YouTube channel on February 18th, 2011. Now, the reason why why this album was never released may be surprising to some people. The master tapes of this album were mysteriously stolen from their studio close to the completion of the album. The band's bassist Mike Dirt admitted that backups were made, but that the backups just weren't as good as the master tapes, and because of that, the band decided to just move on from the project entirely. They did start working on another album though, and that album was released, and well, let's just say this album no one knows about and no one even talks about it anymore, and was just totally a flop. And by that, I actually mean the next album was American Idiot, which ended up being one of their most successful albums ever made. This song was granted 6 times platinum status in the United States. It stayed in the top 10 on the Billboard's Top 100 for a year after its release, and it stayed on the charts for 101 weeks. The album was also Green Day's first #1 album in the United States, selling over 247,000 copies in their first week, which became the band's biggest opening sales week ever. The album also ended up being the 4th highest grossing album in 2005, selling over 3.4 million units. It's hard to believe that an album with this much crazy success almost didn't happen because the band was working on another album that was stolen close to the end of its production. Just think about it this way, we almost had a world where the songs American Idiot, Boulevard of Broken Dreams, Holiday, and Wake Me Up When September Ends never existed. These 4 songs are literally some of my favorite Green Day songs, and are songs that if they weren't already a household name before, they are now thanks to these 4 songs. These songs and this album also hold a special place in my heart, as this album was my introduction to Green Day and what made me fall in love with them. It made me listen to even more of their songs across all their albums. With all that said, will we ever see a release of this album in full? The answer to me seems obvious, which is no. The band themselves have said they don't intend to do anything else with this album, and even called the theft of their master tapes a blessing in disguise. And it is pretty obvious as to why they think that with what they released afterwards. So, with that said, we have now reached the end of this video. If you're new here, please feel free to subscribe and ring that little bell for more videos on media that has been lost to time. And also give this a like and comment your thoughts on this unreleased album down below, as well as leave me some questions to answer at the end of these videos, as I have yet to get any in our last video as of recording of this video. Anyways, that is all for now, and we'll see you next time. Take care, guys.